Hello YouTube, Dave here again. So today I finally got my copy of Waterdeep Dragon Heist. Now, I literally just got home from picking it up. I just pulled it out of the plastic bag that it was shipped to the store in. So I haven't actually opened this up yet. So I'm going to be flipping through it in this video, and my first reactions are going to be like genuine first reactions because I haven't even seen a single page inside of this book yet. But before I do that, I just want to also show off a recent pickup that I got. I forgot to show this in the last video, but I picked up the Owlbear miniature from the Nolzur's Marvelous Miniatures line. And, you know, owlbears are just awesome, one of my favorite monsters, so I meant to show that off in the last pickup video that I did, but I forgot to include it. So anyway, there's that, and here is the Waterdeep Dragon Heist book. So, like I said, I just picked this up, but you got like Xanathar in the background there, which is cool. I believe that's Manshoon, and Jarlaxle there from Bregan Daearth, the Drow mercenary group that was a big part of the R.A. Salvatore novels. So anyway, so it's pretty cool to see them. I don't know who the other two are, truth be told, so let's see what we can find in here. I like that the inside cover has like their coinage, with like the crescent moons and the, it's pretty cool. Cover's really tight on this, and I don't like to open things up too far. So on the cover, so in Waterdeep, a gold coin is called the Dragon, and someone has hidden 500,000 dragons in the City of Splendors. That would explain the name. Tyler Dickinson, so doesn't say who they are, huh? All right. Well, anyway. So what we have here is we got our table of contents with our introduction and, Number 3 Fireball. Okay, I guess it introduces Waterdeep sort of as you go. But that's alright. You got some pronunciation guides here, which is always nice to have. Can come in really handy. Alright, so choose your villain. Okay. So I'm kind of curious to see, and I'll definitely know more about this. Like, so this is just sort of an early flip through. And I will definitely know more when I actually get the time to sit down and read. But I kind of feel like this might be similar in structure to the like Murder in Baldur's Gate and Legacy of the Crystal Shard type adventure. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know if it. I mean, I might be a little bit off on that. That's sort of how I thought it was going to be initially. But because it looks like the dungeon master might ultimately choose who the villain is rather than having the player sort of come across it organically, which is something that was really nice about the oh, that's interesting. Picture of the Yawning Portal. So yeah, something that I think would be kind of interesting was that in the Legacy of the Crystal Shard and Murder in Baldur's Gate, the players sort of had the ability to choose which aspects of the adventure they took on, sort of which storyline they followed. And I'm hoping that this kind of goes along the same way, but we will see. The maps are surprisingly simple, in that like at least those two, like two just black and white maps there, which I mean they look closer to like a hand-drawn map, which is kind of cool. Different missions for different encounters. We got Fireball. Now there's some excellent. I mean, there's Jarlaxle. So I'm not going to lie. This is one of my all-time favorite characters in anything ever, and I hate the idea of him being a villain because he's always been so much more than just, you know, a simple villain. He's always had this like really complicated sort of anti-hero relationship with the main characters. So there's another black and white map. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm going to be honest. I don't know how I feel about about those maps. I mean, there's a lot of great artwork in here, and a lot of the older adventures that they put out had some really beautiful maps in them. And just the plain black and white ones, yeah, that I'm going to be honest, that doesn't really do too much for me, because I can't imagine it would be too difficult for them to have actually, put some color on that. So I'm going to be honest. Right now, that aspect of it's a little bit disappointing. But honestly, that's a pretty minor thing. Although in a book that's $70+ Canadian, asking for a little bit of color on the maps, I don't think is too big of a thing. But yeah, they're all like that, which is a bit unfortunate. I'm also kind of surprised that it doesn't just have like one large section describing the city of Waterdeep first, and then having the adventure sections kind of take place after that, which is how I really would have thought. That's a nice picture right there. I like that one. Gold dragon. So yeah, we got Xanathar. There's Xanathar, Beholder. Now, gonna be honest, considering that this is for characters of levels like 1 through 5, it's kind of a jerk move, I think, to have them actually take on the Beholder. But anyway, I'm sure there are ways to make it a little bit more fair, and I'm pretty sure you're probably not going to end up killing him necessarily. But anyway, so yeah, just more of the maps there. Not gonna lie, that's cool with Xanathar's shadow kind of in the background there. I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably, the first time I run this, if I have the choice of which storyline to take on, it's probably gonna be the one with Xanathar, just because Beholders are my favorite monster. Chain Devil. It also has, I don't know, see, maybe it's just me, I don't know, maybe I'm being nitpicky, but to go from like this massive, like 2-page, brightly colored, beautiful painting, of like a market scene here, and flipping the page to just a plain black and white map, I don't know, it just doesn't quite work for me in a full-priced offering. I mean, I don't mind the black and white for the ship plans, necessarily, because, it's not like an actual, it's just the layout of the ship, and you can do stuff with that, but the other stuff, I don't know. The maps, not gonna lie, the maps are definitely a negative for me in this one. Not that they're badly drawn maps or anything, they're actually quite nice, but the black and white just doesn't fit with a book of this price. And that's the last time I'm going to mention that in this particular video, because I don't want to dwell too much. And I mean, the adventures themselves will probably render that point pretty moot to begin with, but this is just sort of my first impressions. Okay, Waterdeep. Okay, maybe this is where. All right. Okay, never mind. So we do have a big chapter on Waterdeep, which is fine, which is great. It's in the back of the book instead of the front, which is totally fine. Yeah, no, this is cool. I like that. That's fine. As long as we have this information, because my understanding that this is sort of like a regional source book with the adventures integrated into it. And it'll be interesting to compare this version of a few too many robots there for my taste, but it'll be interesting to see just how much the city may have changed from edition to edition. Then we got some magic items, monsters and NPCs. I wonder if they actually have the stats for like Jarlaxle and come on now, Jarlaxle and Xanathar and I'm gonna be honest, this guy kind of looks like Dungeon Master from the 80s cartoon series. Just a little bit. The Black Viper. City Watch. Drow Gunslinger. I don't know how I feel about that. Not huge on like gunpowder and stuff like that in my fantasy settings, but anyway. Oh, we got a Gazer Beholder, which is cool. Whoa. Lariel Silverhand. Yeah, we got Jarlaxle. So we have his stats. Only challenge rating 15 though. I wonder. Doesn't seem to. Oh yeah, it's got his equipment there. In the stories, he always had the the magic item necessary to get out of situations which, when you've been alive for centuries and centuries, and in a society that has a lot of magic at its disposal, it only kind of makes sense. We got Manshoon, so yeah, we actually have. Looks like the stats for everybody. We got a Grell. We got Mert. Really? Oh, okay. I was looking at the wrong picture. So there's Mert there. So this guy here is Mert, and I just saw the stat block, and I looked directly at this creature here, and although I mean Mert really shouldn't be alive anymore unless he's a descendant, just because it's been over a century. But anyway, that's still cool. Mert the Merciless. I always knew it was Mert the Moneylender, but anyway, that's cool. I got a Mind Flare. I'm pretty happy with that. With his little pet Intellect Devourers. I don't know if that's what they are or not, but they look like it. Nimblewright. I assume he's probably some sort of cultist of Xanathar with the Beholder hat on. Oh, you got Volo in here again. Oh. Okay, so Xanathar is basically just a Beholder. That's actually a little bit disappointing. I figured that they would have given him more advanced stats than that. But, I mean, he has, like, magic items, but strange. Oh well. Just some friendly faces. Another map, and ooh! Okay, we actually have a poster map. I'm not going to remove it in this particular video, but I will try to have it out when I do the actual review. So, at a glance, I'm interested to see how the adventures themselves go, and for me, that's sort of like the bread and butter of this book. And having the information on Waterdeep is great. I have several other sources with information on Waterdeep, so I'm not as worried about that so much as I am the adventures themselves. So I don't want to say too much right now, other than what I already have in terms of what sort of my initial thoughts were. So I'm interested to read it. I did say it a few times, and I will just say it one last time that the internal maps are kind of disappointing in the fact that, I mean, this is 65.95 Canadian, which works out to well over $70 once you get taxes and stuff like that in there. So for that kind of money, I really would have liked maps that were up to the same standards as every other single map that's been in every other single D&D 5th edition product. So that part's a little bit disappointing. But at the end of the day, that's a minor nitpick. Having firearms in D&D, it's something that I personally have never really liked, and I will hopefully the gunslinging and the pistols and stuff like that aren't a huge part of the adventure because I would probably personally just take them completely out because it's just not something that I want in my fantasy games. If I want like firearms in like a fantasy type setting, I have Starfinder for from Paizo. Or Paizo. So I would rather, have that in there. So I don't really care about that aspect of it. But then again, it may be such a minor thing that it would just be easy to take out the gun and just replace with like a hand crossbow or something. That's my own personal thing. And I don't expect anybody else to really have those same hang-ups. So anyway, over the next few days, I look really forward to sitting down and giving this book a read. It does look like it is a little bit warped, though, which is kind of disappointing. I'll have to see if I can get that to straighten out there, because if you see, like, the cover kind of does that, and that's how it came. The store that I got it from, they didn't have any on the shelf. Otherwise, I may have looked and see if I could have switched them. But anyway, so look forward to sitting down and giving this a read. And sometime next week, I hope to have my full review of the product. So anyway. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think of Waterdeep Dragon Heist. And it makes a lot more sense now that you're trying to steal like dragons, which is their coinage, rather than like trying to steal from a dragon. So anyway, yeah, it's really interesting. I'm looking forward to this. So yeah, let me know what you guys' thoughts are. And thank you guys very much for watching. I really appreciate it. We will see you next time. Take care.